Welcome back, guys. So, yeah, sketchbooks. I've got them, tons of them. So I was just looking through my bookshelf, and this bright green sketchbook was kind of just sitting there, and I didn't even know that it was there. So I have a bit of an obsession with sketchbooks. Every time I am in an art store, I kind of end up buying one or two or three sketchbooks just because I'm drawn to them so much. There's just something about these things just looking so perfect with all the perfect textures, just inviting you to come draw on them. So yeah, I've got these that I could catch right now. Although I mean, there's probably more somewhere that I can't find right now, but these were kind of just near around my desk, so I just threw them together. I said, well, why not just share some of my tips with starting a new sketchbook and the things that maybe you guys need to be aware of. We're probably going to end up drawing something on it today, but before we get to that, let me just show you around what I have here. So this video may end up being one of those sketchbook tours. The last time we ended up doing one of these is I think I toured this particular sketchbook, which is one of the first sketchbooks to appear on this channel. Although we're a little bit away from getting 2,000 subscribers, I decided to go ahead and do one of these sketchbook tours again, just to kind of show you guys around what I've been doing with these, and maybe you guys can help me get to 2,000. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. All right, so well, let's just start with this one, a little recap of what we did before. So as I'm going around reviewing these sketchbooks, I will also give you the tips that I promised for this video, the things that you need to be aware of to start a new sketchbook. I try to dedicate each sketchbook to a certain theme. For this one, I think I focused more on just characters, just fantasy, fiction, a lot of that stuff. So you see a lot of pen drawings over here. Here's a sketch of the Joker that I did. There was a video where I reviewed this particular sketchbook, so you can maybe go back and have a more detailed look at these. Okay, so you get the idea. When you're picking a new sketchbook, one of my tips will be to kind of look for what interesting aspect can it provide to your drawing, whether it's an interesting shape, frame, or texture. What draws you to the sketchbook? That's kind of important as well. So I like the texture of this particular sketchbook, of how it just makes every drawing in this sketchbook pop out a little bit more. So there's another one, which is this one, which has a very unique uh, texture, a very smooth texture. So I really enjoy drawing on this one. So I really like how this paper is a little bit soft and it lets the ink kind of spread a little bit like watercolor. This is a nice little architecture themed sketchbook. So I did a lot of architecture drawings on this one. There's that Hobbit home that I did recently. Some architecture. So again, that's another tip. If you want to start doing a sketchbook, you want to experiment with different types of themes, right? So I have a very rough kind of a sketchbook, which was that one where I do all kinds of process drawings, concept drawings, and then I had that one that you saw before with some with the more character. Um, there's this one, which is kind of, I think this is from when I was in architecture school. We drew some just to kind of get used to architectural drawings. A lot of notes here. This one's this one's very special. This one is a leather-bound sketchbook that I got from Seattle. It's got a very nice textured paper. I think it's more focused on watercolor, which I haven't really experimented with this sketchbook, so I'll probably end up doing that at some point. It's got a very interesting tonality to it. So I haven't quite filled out any of these. I kind of just fill them all out at the same time. It's kind of hard to start a sketchbook and then just keep going on that. I would switch between all of these based on what kind of drawing that I'm, in the mood of doing at the moment. This one's a little bit more architecture based as well, but this is very plain white kind of a texture. Is better for very fine drawings. Some concept design. This is another one here. So one of my other tips for starting a new sketchbook would be is to experiment with different shapes and sizes. Like this one right here kind of appealed to me right away. Like as soon as I saw this, I was like, I need to have this. There's something about it that just is just waiting to be drawn on. So I kind of picked this one up, and although I haven't really done much on it, just a few kind of architecture drawings. This is kind of me just testing out some markers. Um, there's a panorama I did of Venice. There's one for Rome. There's some architectural drawings. So you know, every time I have to do some kind of a landscape panoramic drawing, this is the go-to, but I haven't quite filled it out as much as I would like to. Maybe I'll come back to it later on. And this is another one. So another tip for starting a new sketchbook is also experiment with different colors, because it gives you an opportunity to diversify the style of your drawings. So this kind of texture allows you to open your drawings up to new possibilities, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a little bit. So this is a classic kind of a pen sketch, some markers right here. See how the marker kind of looks a little bit interesting with this particular color of paper. So don't be afraid to experiment with different colors and textures. I used some white gel pen. Let me see if I can find it right here. This is a Uniball Signal. That's what I used at some of these spots, and some white color pencil gives an interesting result. So this one I think has featured probably most on this channel, and this is a very plain white kind of basic boring sketchbook. So you may have seen some of these drawings before, architecture, trying to do some perspectives here. Particularly perspectives take so much space that you want to have a bigger kind of clear space. So this is kind of a good sketchbook for that. Which brings me to this final sketchbook before we get into the new sketchbook. Promise you. This was actually one of the oldest sketchbooks of all of these. What makes it interesting is look how many papers there are, and this is a super thin sketchbook. Like look at the flimsiness of this paper. It's impossible to draw something on one page and then not be able to see it on the other. You will definitely see it. This is J.R.R. Tolkien, my favorite author, and a lot of other character design stuff. Don't have the time to go through all this, but you know, some tonal variation. But my key here is just try to experiment with different kinds of sketchbooks. Try to do different things. Don't stick to one kind of sketchbook. Don't stick to one type of drawing style. Play around, see what you guys can do. I try to copy a lot of different artists, try to see if I can sort of do what they do. But yeah, particularly in this sketchbook, I think I kind of copied a lot of photographs that I saw online. But this has taken many years, and man, there's a lot of pages filled over here, which we'll go through someday. But finally, so getting to the new sketchbook, which is the point of the video. Tips for starting a new sketchbook, just to round everything up. Okay. Tip number 1, do not be afraid to start the sketchbook. The first thing you want to do is fill out that first page. You gotta break the ice. Just start wherever, but you gotta get going. So fill out the first page. That's my tip number 1 for starting a new sketchbook. And 2, I've been saying throughout this video, don't be afraid to experiment with different colors, textures, shapes, sizes, whatever it is. Step number 3, don't be afraid to diversify the types of drawings you do. I personally don't like to stick to one type of drawing, even though I'm an architect, so a lot of the drawings that you see on this channel are architecture based. I like to play around. I like to draw kind of characters, concept designs, doodling, all that stuff. Tip number 4, if you want your sketchbook to be some sort of a memorabilia, some sort of a window into time, maybe a reminder of a trip that you went on, maybe a photo album of sorts. Don't be afraid to do that as well. It doesn't strictly have to be a sketchbook. Maybe you attach some photographs, play around, add color, add pictures, attach your plane tickets, whatever, your train tickets. Don't be afraid to play around. It's supposed to be for you, so yeah, have fun with it. Okay, that was it for today. Now let's break the ice and follow step number one and draw some stuff on the sketchbook. Catch y'all later. All right, guys, I had a lot of fun today doing this video, sharing all the work that I've done in the past, and looking forward to do a lot of drawings in the future on this channel. You gotta help me get to 2,000 subscribers. We're reaching about a year since this channel started. May have even crossed that. We need to get to 2,000 subscribers, so yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and catch y'all later. Keep drawing, and yeah, see you guys later. Cheers.